Merchant Lake is easily within a day's travel of the Opeongo access point, especially with the water taxi service available to shuttle canoeists directly to the Happy Isle portage. The close proximity to such a major point of entry naturally leads to high traffic on campsites such as mine, where there are numerous signs of high occupancy all around me, starting with the firewood supply. The site looks like it was manicured. I had to hike over to the far side of the peninsula just to gather this small supply, plus a couple of logs that turned out to be far too green to burn. Even then, the fallen tree I happened upon cantilevered out over the water's edge had already been set upon by previous campers. Nevertheless, the site is clean. No mounds of garbage piled up around the fire pit or off by the thunderbox. For that, I consider myself pretty fortunate. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at this extra special one here. 6, 7, 8, 9, not including that. That would make 10, that little one. 10 grates at one campsite. Another interesting thing about this campsite, look at this. What is this, the mosquito trail? It's cold, the wind is blowing. It'll be good to get moving, I guess. I might have to bundle up a little bit this morning. It's turned out to be a sunny day, or at least a sunny morning. I've got a decent paddle in front of me up to the portage into big trout. I'm gonna have to lose this jacket because it's too warm. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A fairly strong easterly wind bodes well for the day's travel, which involves crossing Big Trout Lake from east to west, a distance of roughly 9 kilometers. A poor landing spot greets me at the takeout for the Big Trout portage. With waves slapping the shoreline, neither the large log on the left nor the set of small boulders on the right look inviting. Wet feet are inevitable. Even then, it's dicey, as I have to keep the canoe steady and away from the obstacles, whilst unloading all the gear at the same time. It's times like these a paddling partner would come in handy. The portage emerges onto another narrow winding creek, with navigation once again inhibited by low water and beaver dams. More great moose country, and still no moose.
certainly not, but give it a try. Nope. Well, the good news is, though, that because I've lost a bunch of weight in the form of food that I've eaten, my water line is lower. So, meaning I have less draft on the boat and will float in less water, which is really cool because it means I have to wade less. I passed some guys back there, a couple guys. They were loaded for bear. And they were, oh, you're going to have to... I asked them about the water level in here. They said, oh, it's really low. You're going to have to do some wading. I have had to do a little bit of wading, but probably nowhere near as much as they had to do. Because they had 3 big packs with them. And plus the 2 of them. Here, top end of Longer Lake. Somewhere up here there's a portage around a very small rapid. There is nothing in the way of current to speak of, but there are plenty of rocks not that far below the surface. See what we think of this rapid.
The portage ahead is skirted by a very healthy crop of poison ivy. It's well marked on Jeff's map, though there are no warning signs on site. On previous trips, earlier in the season and traveling in the opposite direction, I've had little choice but to gingerly step across the trail with concentrated steps to avoid brushing up against any plants. But this time I'm traveling in the right direction. Or so I thought.
Man. Well, it's really low. Super low. I'll see, but I'm doubting I certainly can't run it. It's not from what I can see here. The question is, can I, at the very least, just sort of wade it through this top section and just walk it, see what I think. Well, it ain't looking great. I'm probably gonna get it patched up some, but I'm gonna try to line it. I got a feeling I'm gonna get pretty wet here. As much fun as running them. There's no way of running that though, and it saved me walking across poison ivy, so I'll take it. 4:09. One more rapid to come, and I expect it's much the same. I'm just not sure if I'll even be able to wade that one or line it. I think there's a dam at the top of it. But if I have to portage it, it'll be fine. It's not a big deal. That one, there's no poison ivy on that portage. And it's like 75 meters. So care less, really. Just getting all my stuff out of the boat, putting it all back in, making the whole landing and everything in. As I recall, it's a pretty awkward landing, so I'd rather not have to walk it if I don't have to. Whatever the heck that means. Set number 2. Saying wading a rapid is a great way to learn about a rapid. Great way to learn about how water moves. Doing this, I can see the wisdom in that. Picked up some companions here. Looks like, I don't know, 3 of the 4 sites out here or something are island sites. I only know the one of them, and I know it's quite exposed, so I'm not sure I want that one. But either way, couldn't hurt to pick up some wood along the way, and I found some fantastic driftwood. I just sort of, the thought came to my mind, thinking about this couple that I passed back there at the portage into Longer. They were gathering wood at the end of the portage because they knew they were going to be staying on an island out in big trout. It's definitely making for some awkward paddling, but it's not very far. So I think I can handle it. I just got to keep my eyes peeled for the campsites. Well, in the end, I decided to go for the main site on Red Pine Bay. So there's this little red squirrel running around here. Probably been campsite acclimatized, you know, fed by past campers. This has to be a very popular campsite right here. He was poking around, making a lot of noise, checking all my stuff out. I had the wrapper from a Cliff Bar that I was going to use as tinder to start the fire. Threw it into the fire pit, but you know, I haven't gotten around to starting a fire yet. He finally picked that up and started running away with it. And I chased him down, got the wrapper back, you'll be happy to know, but there's one mistake I won't be making again. Anyway, got the bear rope up, got the tent up with a sleeping bag and thermarest, so I'm all set to get a drink and do something about dinner. But the thing is, when the sun goes down, it's going to get cold in a hurry. I can just tell. It's just that kind of weather. .35 in the morning, man. Day 7. Oh, wow. Oh, it's going to be an amazing sunrise. Oh, man. Yet the wind's blowing and it's cold. It looks like a washed out sky. It's not. It's got beautiful
shades in it. That's a little better over there. Oh yeah. Ooh. Let's see if I can get a fire going here. Get the food down. That is the best food hang of the trip by far. It's well away from the tree. There's no other branches near it. It's high enough. She's blowing up quite a storm this morning. I gotta say, it's a hell of a wind coming from the south. Everything's getting blown around. Trying to have my breakfast. I'm getting blown everywhere. It's insane. Anyway, as long as no trees fall down, it's not bad. I mean, it's blowing in the right direction in terms of my travel. All things equal, it'll work out, but who knows what it's going to be like out on the main lake, out on Bird Route. I mean, that's the big exposure there. I've paddled many a rough lake in my day, although not necessarily in a small and sort of easily tippable boat as my Swift Keefe 15. Just give you a gander here. You can't see anything. I mean, it's not like there's enough room between the island here and the shore over there for the wind to really pick up into something huge. You know, but out on the main lake there, like I say, I expect it's going to be major whitecap action. Probably some decent crests, some decent, you know, could be into some sizable waves. We'll see. Looking forward to seeing what it's like out on Bird Route, the main body. Woo! Man. The problem with the tailwind is it always wants to blow the back end of the boat around for some reason. Could it be because it's an asymmetrical hull? So I'm not even going where I want to go. I can't. Got everything. Now I'm quickly gonna warm up. I'm already too hot. Put this extra layer on because of the wind coming through. Just gets right to you. Just get out of the wind here and then get out of this. Of course, my socks dried off. Everything was nice and dry. My shoes weren't quite dry, but they were getting there. But then to get into the boat, I had to wade in. There was no other way. So, bit of a shame, but no big deal really. Larger scheme of things. We haven't even gotten out on the main body of the lake. Oh boy. I'll have to keep an eye out. I'm not sure. This may not be safe. So far so good out here. I'm
really just coming into the body of the lake. I'm thinking if I stick to the eastern shore, that is on the right, I'll probably be fine. The worst part is going to be over to the left. Look back on what I just came from. I am glad I am not going the other way. That would not be fun to paddle into. Doesn't look like much from here, but a lot of those waves are getting pretty steep, pretty long. A lot of force, a lot of effort. My beautiful day has turned into rain here. I've just got a very small crossing from the 480 or 435 or whatever it was portage between Whiskey Jack and Ramona. Now on Ramona, heading for the 1930, which is the longest portage remaining on my trip. I'm just doing a quick crossing here. A little bit of rain. I could tell the clouds were building. Definitely seemed like rain was on the way. It's probably going to be here for the rest of the day. It'd be awesome if it would clear by tomorrow. Awesome. Anyway, we'll see. Doing a pretty good time here. I'm not entirely sure what time it is. It's a little after 2 o'clock, I think, maybe 2:15 at the latest. So, with luck, get through this portage by 4 and start getting camp together by 4:30 easy. Oh, well, welcome to the wet Nipissing River. My favorite, actually, river in the park. But as you see, it's raining. No wind in sight. Partway through my portage, I changed into my raincoat, but I didn't change into my rain pants. So I'm going to put those on now before I start getting chilled. Then I'm going to start paddling load everything up in the boat, start paddling upriver. I don't have very long to go, very far to go, but when I get there I'll have to be pretty much right on the ball, getting everything settled, getting the tarp up, going from there. I don't want to fool around really in these conditions. Linger, you know, it's not a good idea. The mission at hand will be to get the tarp up in as quick a fashion as possible. Wrong way on the Nipissing. Here we go. It's fairly cool. don't know what the temperature is, but it's not warm. This stuff. I don't know why somebody put it up on here. It needs not to be here. Anyway, okay, I'm shutting you down. I'm gonna get myself squared away here.
Instead of letting up, the rain actually worsens over the next few hours. I set up my tarp over the fire pit and benches, but the area's unfavorable drainage characteristics mean the water cascading off my tarp begins forming a large puddle throughout the camp kitchen. Using a stick, I attempt to dig trenches to encourage the flow out over the bank down to the riverbed, with limited success. My efforts to get a fire going are fruitless, and after a hasty supper, I eventually abandon the attempt for the comfort of the tent, only to discover its Achilles heel, a sopping wet floor. Thank goodness for my inflatable sleeping mat that keeps me and my sleeping bag a couple of inches off the ground.
Well, good morning. It's, I don't know, 5:15 maybe. I'm up early in the dark because I got a long distance to travel back to the access point and then hoping to go on back home from there. So as the light comes out, I'll try to keep the camera going. I got my coffee here. It's been a wet night, or partially a wet night. I think most of the rain actually happened before I went to bed, but there's signs a little bit of some rain coming in after. So it's going to be a wet, heavy, wet, travel back because I'm not going to be able to dry anything off, obviously. A lot of stuff's going to be wet, so maybe it won't be most fun. Too bad. It is 8:20, so not bad. Again, not bad. The water level on the river has risen tremendously. And I'm actually hopeful that I can get through here without any wading. It looks totally like I can. I had to wade through this whole section yesterday, and now I see my battery's going to die again. Battery on the GoPro doesn't last long. Anyway, that'll probably be about it for this trip because the spare batteries are packed away. I see myself digging them out. Oh, look at that. The water level on the river is way up. That's fantastic. Definitely some blue sky up there. It has been, I had the sun out on me for a minute. So it's looking good. Making my way down the river. We're into the more grassy section now, having passed through most of the alder section up top. And probably good hour still away from the first of the three small portages. It sort of marks the midway point. At least that's my theory. Mind you, the wind is really helping here, so we'll see. Very last portage of the trip. I should have filmed myself running that last set of rapids, which, truth be told, was not very gracefully done. There was a lot of flubbing around, but I got through them with only a few scratches on the boat, so it's all good. A few more scratches later when I went through something that I didn't realize could be portaged around. I wouldn't have portaged around it anyway, but and here we are arriving at the last one, and this one is big, and I definitely have to portage this, so that's fine. With a steep embankment. Here's this easy takeout right here. I just didn't want to get that close to the rapids, so I took the other one. Down there. Great. Made it through my last portage. And now I'm just en route through the labyrinth that is Marshy Bay on Cedar Lake. It is, yes, a big marsh. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, still no moose. If there ever was better moose country than this, I don't know what it is, but anyway, still no moose. Disappointing. Entire trip, no moose. Oh well, I've got to see some other really cool things. Good trip overall. A fun 8 days. Lots of interesting things happening, and I'm really happy I came. As you can see, waves picking up. I had a feeling it was going to be interesting out here. That was a complete blast. I haven't surfed waves like that in a long time, certainly not on a boat this small. It really picks the boat up and just moves it. Whoa, that was fun. Sorry you didn't see it. Oh wow. Anyway. Fun's over. Trip's over too. That was an adrenaline rush. big time. Especially, not so much about the waves. I was worried about I knew I could handle the waves, to be honest, everything that was out there, but it was the skies behind me I was worried about. I kept looking back and going, uh-oh, what's coming? You know, whenever there's dark clouds, I worry about suddenly hearing thunder when I'm in the middle of a big lake. It's like, oh no, I gotta get off in a hurry. There's nowhere to go. So, I lucked out. Kind of like the beginning of the trip. The beginning of the trip had the same thing going on. Anyway, here we are. Brent Beach. My car is still there, up on the far right. See if the camera will take us home here. Lots of people out still. That's great. Looks like they got a shoal marked off there. Notice that on the way in. Either the water has gone down since 4. I just didn't notice it because I was going in the opposite direction. Probably the latter. That was a rush. What a rush it was. Roof rack going, actually. Those trucks in. Oh, well, those will do. Last few paddle strokes here. Alright, done. Thanks for coming with me. It's a blast. Sorry you didn't see everything I did, but that's why you gotta come out for yourselves.